Yo, what's good, people? We back at it for another week, another episode of What's the Real LJ Mental Podcast. And as always, I'm your host with the most LJ, back in here for another week. And the word of the week this week um, is eerie. It's like an eerie feeling, like it's weird, strange. The reason why I say that for a couple reasons. Get into the topics I'm gonna talk about. Um, for one, like this COVID thing, I guess is technically still around. People getting their vaccinations or whatever. I got mine. I was super skeptical about it. Um, didn't really feel too great after I had it for like a couple of days. Um, I'm good now, but felt a little sick afterwards. But yeah, it's real eerie for like it's where we at right now. Like shit is opening back up, like somewhat. Like you got gyms open, see people in there with masks. You got public parks opening back up, like barbers, nail salons open back up. Like your regular day businesses like restaurants, all that good stuff, right? Um, Even like I went out hiking this past weekend, try to go like jogging or something. Uh, Quite often I slacked on it for a bit, had some things going on, but I'm getting back into it now. Uh, yeah, and seeing like just out jogging, it's not really nobody. Um, you see some people wearing masks, some people not. Um, But yeah, it seems like it's kind of getting back to normal, but it's kind of hard to say. That's why I say it's eerie. Like it's a weird feeling. Like I remember when I first got to L.A. Uh, it was a little, like city was just like packed, like all the time. Like always something going on. Like especially on Friday night in L.A. Like cars all over the place. And even though I guess it's kind of getting back to normal, it's not like what it was before this pandemic at all. Like it's definitely not. Still some restaurants closed. Some business can't even open back up um, because of this pandemic. Like some had to shut down for good, and it's sad to see some businesses like have some big businesses that relied on people to come in to their place of business had to shut down for good. And it's a lot of people were able to adapt, like with technology being as strong as it is, with a lot of people being able to work from home, with technology, a lot of people doing these Zoom meetings. Like and it's kind of hard to say where we gonna be at like uh, next year, like around this time. Some cities like seem like they lifted the mask mandate. Some people partying up a storm. Like it is wild, and I'm just to see everything getting back to the way it is. But and before I get in deeper, I just want to say like comment on this girl back in my hometown. I think she went to Buff State University College. Rapper 40 Cal's daughter allegedly was found. I'm not sure if they found her, but they say she committed suicide. I think in the Niagara Falls area, which is a very sad situation. I know she said she was missing for a while. Um, but yeah, it's a real sad situation. Um, I really feel for 40 Cal and his family. Just to hear about that with anybody, you just never know what somebody going through. I'm not sure what that young lady was going through at the time, what she was thinking about. But it's just another example of like, that's why we gotta care about people. We gotta check on our friends. Sometimes we might have to annoy the people that we care about, like seriously. Just to check on, make sure they good, see if there's anything we could do, because you really just never know what people are going through. This, despite some people living it up, doing their thing, but life is hard. Life is, like Nas and AZ said, life is a bitch. Like Like for real, life can really be an unfaithful bitch. I'm just being totally frank, being real. Like man, this shit called life can be hard, very difficult, and you just never know. So from the outside surface looking in, some people might be um, good. They appear to be good, like they living it up, or what they got to be sad or unhappy about. You just never know. Like it's so much shit that you can get you down, take you just can't. It's something, and I'm not saying this girl is weak at all because I don't know her, but some people just stronger than others, and I'm not trying to use that as an example, saying she wasn't strong. I'm not trying to say that at all, but some people can handle things better than others, and sometimes you just reach a breaking point. Like even the strongest people, like you just reach your breaking point, and you just don't know what to do. Some people just don't want to live no more. Unfortunately, it's sad, and it's just another example of we just gotta make sure we check on people that we care about. Like seriously, like we really gotta do that for real. Um, Now, get back to this eerie feeling with everything else. Like as far as like this COVID thing, and they talking about now. Like seemed like I was looking up some flights to go out to some different places. Got some plans possibly in the summer and in the fall, but we gonna see how that go, how everything shake up. But looking like some places require you to have a uh, vaccination, and some places are mandatory for you to have just a negative COVID test. So it depends where you're going, I guess, around the world. I'm not too sure about domestic travel all over the place, but I looked up a couple international destinations where some require you to definitely have a vaccination, and some just require a negative COVID test. I was thinking it's probably going to be mandatory across the board for if you want to travel to have a vaccine, you got to have a vaccination, which is kind of crazy. And I'm not sure if we're going to need this shit every year. I hope not, because I honestly don't want to get it again. Um, but we got to see, and it's like crazy if they forcing you to do it, because I don't, even though I got it myself, I don't agree with forcing people to get it. That I don't agree with, because you just never know how we're gonna react. And honestly, we really don't even know. Like when you get the test, like you get a warning, and I read through everything you do, of like what could this possibly do. Like, but we still putting something in our bodies that's really like untested for real. Like we really don't know what it is for real. Like it's still really experimental on a real. Like it's crazy. That's why I don't even want to get it again. And some of them were causing, the Johnson said it was causing blood clots with some women. But yeah, that's scarier than itself. I mean, but as far as this whole thing, this whole pandemic, I don't know if it's gonna be a national, international thing where they declare it over, and we probably got to do it on a local or state level, or if they international places probably got to do it like that. I don't think one place as a whole, because every city's different. Other places got millions of people. Some places only got a few hundred, few thousand people. So we just gotta wait and see how this shit gonna play out. But this shit is eerie as hell. Like, you know what I mean? Like this shit is super fucking eerie. Like you don't know where this is gonna go. But yes, things are starting to come back. Hopefully we can have some more outdoor activities, especially with the summer coming up across the board. So definitely looking forward to that. Another thing I want to talk about too is this emergency against cryptocurrency. You paying attention, like crypto is a real hot topic right now. And I've known people that's been on this for years, way before it was a hot topic. Hear about all these different investments. Now, it's a different type of way. Like it's different from actual investing in like a company. If you invest in a coin, crypto coin, is different than actually like owning shares with their company. what the similarities lie, you can possibly, if the if it goes up, then you make more money the more you got. So that's just where the similarities lie. Uh, but yeah, I just think it was interesting. Some of the emergency, like people, a lot of people were hopping on this Dogecoin. Um, I never bought into it honestly. Like I heard a lot of people talking about it, like but I never hopped on the bandwagon. Like um, I try and listen to different people that I know about it, different stocks, but me, I don't know. I just didn't have a feeling. And I hopped on other stuff that I've heard a few people hop on, but the main thing is I don't. Me, I've never been a follower. I've never tried to hop on something because of everybody else, what everybody else is doing, and it seemed like that's what a lot of people did with this Dogecoin. I know a lot of people talking about this Elon Musk thing. Saturday Night Live caused it to dip. I guess it was going up. And I didn't really see, like, honestly, the hype of it because I know it went up like 100% or some crazy number, but um, it was still under $1. And I saw some other ones that was way over $1, so I didn't really see the hype with Dogecoin. I guess they thought this one would go up way up, and it still could because the market could change constantly. So, but I don't know. I've never personally never bought into it. I don't know. I didn't buy into the hype. I didn't do a whole lot of research on Dogecoin. I did a little, but I just didn't find it very interesting. And honestly, like, is books out there, and one thing I learned from different people, and I was reading this book called Intelligent Investor. Uh, Warren Buffett actually recommends. I heard him talking about it, and I ended up buying the book. Uh, Something that's in that book, and something I've heard people say too, is start with investing in things you like, and then you want to branch out. Make sure you do your research. Don't just hop on something just because you might see it going way up right now, or you see everybody else doing it. Do your research, and obviously nothing is guaranteed. All this shit is a big risk. It's like when you gambling on sports. Like if you bet on, like if you gonna bet on like the Lakers, or a few years ago when the Warriors are hot, even though that's the likely bet, it's still a risk at the end of the day. Um, so nothing is 100% a sure thing. More so things than others, but similar with the stock market, right? Like if you go into a casino or something, put your money on something, and hopefully if you win, you get your bread. Whereas the stock market, you is more of a long-term investment. Even though you basically betting, this is a long-term investment. Depending on, it's not a get-rich-quick type of thing. Like honestly, even people that got a lot of bread, like Nas just got made, they say, over $100 million with Coinbase, but he was an investor way back in 2013, so he let that shit build up for years. So you gotta be patient, and you gotta do your research, know when to jump in and out, uh, and move on to the next thing. You definitely gotta do that. Sometimes it be harder than others. Now I want to talk about these other coins too. Scam coin, I think it's called. Uh, yeah, it's crazy. They actually this dude, I guess online, created some coin that was meant to be a joke, uh, but ended up turning into something that made over $70 million an hour. Like people just bought it. Like I'm like, wow, this is crazy. This is abbreviated for simple, cool, automatic coin. Um, that's what it stands for. Uh, but yeah, that's crazy that people just gonna buy anything. I wouldn't even try and think about buying something called. If I see something that's called scam coin, I would think it's a scam. But people really bought into that shit. And I guess dude gotta realize that, oh, this shit ain't just a joke. This shit really make money. And so I guess he turned it into something. I don't know what the actual value will really turn into or what's backing it. Because normally with these different type of coins, there's normally something some type of base that backs it, whether it's I don't know. Let's say, for example, something with to do with technology or something to do with like streaming, perhaps the emergence of that, and some particular coin might be backing that. So you just got to do your research with it. Um, and there's another one out there called Shiba Inu. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. Shiba Inu coin. I probably butchered that, but oh well. Anybody listen, you can correct me. That know about it, fine. But it's spelled Shibainu. Um, I saw that's and they recently, like I think they just launched like a few days ago or last week, and they're supposed to be. They call it the Dogecoin killer. Just immediately my mind went people that know anything about video games and the history of it. I remember Halo was a big time video game, right? And I remember when that was for Xbox, and I remember when PlayStation PS2 came out with Killzone, and they called it the Halo Killer, and it didn't kill anything. Halo is still around, and yeah, Killzone has been irrelevant for a very long time. So immediately, that's where my mind went. I thought it was funny that they called it the Doge Killer, but you gonna see. Apparently, they offering where you can actually purchase up to millions of it because it's actually a very low number right now. So you can purchase. I don't know how much it takes to invest that money, but I've seen people who got like a few billion coins of it. And it don't require a whole lot of money either. But I just thought it was funny that they called it. That people use these different little names to try and compete and say, "Oh, this shit gonna blow your shit out the water." I mean, that's what the shit is all about at the end of the day. So, I mean, I get it's competition, it's supposed to be good, and you want your stuff to do well, but when you call stuff a killer or something, that's, I don't know. Obviously, Dogecoin, I mean, isn't like as huge right now as like a Bitcoin or some of the other ones. Uh, right now, anyway, that could change. But me personally, I'm not sold on Dogecoin. Maybe somebody else can convince me otherwise. I'm not saying I'll never invest in it, but right now I'm not sold on it. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I think you should, and everybody. I think everybody should invest, man. At the end of the day, don't just rely whether you got a job or not. All of us, if you filed your taxes or got your shit, everybody should have got that them stimulus checks. So I mean, don't say you can't invest nothing. Even if you just invest a little bit, into something. Like I said, start with something you like, something you know about. Start with something you like, and then move on. You can do your research on other stuff as well. But yeah, I'm not here to preach you because I'm not an expert. Obviously, I'm not claiming to be at all. But I think it's important to invest. And it's become a big time thing now, which for a long time it wasn't. But it's good. So yeah, NFL schedule released today too, or is about to release. I think in the next. So I'm doing this right before 5 o'clock, but by the time I upload this podcast, the NFL schedule will be out. So yeah, I only saw I saw the opponents of some of the teams. So the schedule, like I said, should be out pretty soon. Yeah, it's coming out at 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern time. So yeah, looking forward to that. Seeing a couple things I'm looking forward to, seeing who's gonna be matched up like that. Obviously, the Super Bowl winner gets the first Thursday night game. I already know that they're gonna be playing the Cowboys, the Buccaneers. That's gonna be a good game. I think Dak Prescott has got his money. The Cowboys. He was throwing for a lot of yards before he got hurt. They wasn't winning a lot of games, but he's putting up them yards. So we gonna see. I think that'll probably end up being a shootout, but we gonna see. 'Cause I think Tampa Bay, they brought back everybody. They didn't have to cut any of their stars, Everybody's back, so they're probably gonna be a scary team. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing who matches up with who. Once I'm done with this podcast uploaded, I'm gonna take a look at the schedule. It'll probably be out by then. Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to see who my team, the Packers, play. I hope Aaron Rodgers stays with us. It's looking more and more like he will, but I hope he does, so I can get on here and talk my shit. I can't, yeah. I want to get on here and talk my shit, yeah. Like all y'all motherfuckers talking about he going to Denver, he going to the Raiders, he going to all these other places. I hope he stay, man. I hope he stay. But if not, I get it. It's business at the end of the day. Can't be one of them delusional fans that don't understand shit like this. Brett Favre all over again, but this situation is different. Aaron Rodgers wasn't out here campaigning for not saying, oh, not sure if he want to retire and then demand a trade. Like, he wasn't doing nothing like that. So, that's the difference with this situation. Um, but if all, I think anybody should understand this more than anybody is Aaron Rodgers because he was in it with him and Favre. So, um, but yeah, I think it's deeper than just the Jordan Love stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be real interesting to see how this play out. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, I'm ready for football now. We got 4 months to go, but I'm a football head. I know NBA playoffs about to start next week, but man, yeah, I'm ready for football. But yeah, I can't wait to see. And I already saw week 1's matchups. Green Bay is going to be on that 4 o'clock, be that America's game of the week window. Going to be playing New Orleans. Going to be interesting to see who's going to be starting. Is it going to be James Winston or is Taysom Hill? I'm sorry, going to continue to be that gadget guy that he was, where he's in and out of the lineup, come in at quarterback, come in at receiver, play all this different shit. So we gonna see. That's gonna be interesting because no more Drew Brees. He officially gone. So yeah, there's a few matchups I'm gonna be looking for that week 1. Week 1 is always interesting to see how that play out. So yeah, but the full schedule coming out by the time this podcast is done. So yeah, definitely gonna be. Last thing I want to talk about before I get up out of here is I'm gonna talk a little about Marvel right quick. Now, I've always been a Marvel over DC head. I like some DC characters, but the reason why I'm talking about Marvel is because they just released the trailer for Venom, Let There Be Carnage. I've always loved Venom as a villain, as an anti-hero character. Like, I know he's basically been both at some point where he's been a full villain and he's been an anti-hero. But I always thought he was a very dope character. I wasn't a big fan of the movie that came out in 2018. I honestly thought it was kind of boring after a while. The story wasn't very captivating. Honestly, I thought it was boring. Honestly, the first time I watched it, I fell asleep. And I don't really do that with Marvel movies. So, and which is crazy to say because I love him as a character. This one looked like it's going to be more interesting, but we're going to see. And I think the guy they chose to play Eddie Brock, I think is pretty dope. I think he's good Venom, and I think he looks like Eddie Brock from the comic books. So I think the guy they chose to play Eddie Brock was good. It was Venom. So, but I'm gonna be looking forward to that. The trailer I thought was good. And it's gonna be interesting to see the full Carnage look like. Who's similar to Venom? He's a symbiote. There's a red one instead of black. Similar background, how they became to be. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how Carnage looks. And it's crazy that Venom is like a main character rather than having Spider-Man in it. Because I know Venom isn't part of that Marvel, the movies in is not part of that Marvel universe with Disney. Because I think Sony might own the rights, like how the old Spider-Man and X-Men movies were separate from the Marvel universe. But yeah, it's interesting. It's still Marvel. It's not part of that Marvel universe. But which movie is part of the Marvel universe is Black Widow, which comes out July 9th. I'm gonna be looking forward to that too, seeing how these Marvel movies part of the universe plays out post Avengers, after Endgame with Iron Man being gone. Um, that movie's a great finale, so it's interesting to see. So I'm really interested to see how all of these characters find it continue on without post Avengers. And Black Widow's, I think, an interesting character. So yeah, I saw a little bit of that trailer too. That'll be out soon, sooner than Venom. Venom comes out September 24th. So yeah. And I know also too the Spider-Man movie. I voiced my pain. Like honestly, now I don't got nothing against Tom Holland, but honestly, I don't like him as a Spider-Man. I don't. I thought he's the weakest one out of Tobey Maguire, uh, Andrew Garfield, and him. I think he's the weakest one. I really believe that. Like I was not a fan of like, and Spider-Man is my all-time favorite superhero since I was a kid. Like Spider-Man is the guy for me. Um, I wasn't a fan of Spider-Man Homecoming. Far From Home was okay. Like I liked Mysterio on there, the villain on that one. I thought it was dope. But this new one that's coming out, No Way Home, I love that they're gonna have the villains. They put out a little teaser for it. Trailer isn't out yet, but they're gonna have Doctor Octopus and bringing Jamie Foxx back as Electro, like when they had him on the Amazing Spider-Man movie. So I'm like, oh, that's dope, because Electro and Doc Ock are both very dope villains. So that's a positive light, I think. And I honestly thought Jamie Foxx killed it as Electro on the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie. I thought he did a great job. So, but yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. Even though I'm not a fan of like this new Spider-Man, I don't really like. I like the '90s TV show, and even that comic book. I think that's the Amazing Spider-Man version where he's more of like a sarcastic asshole, funny type character. That's to me that's the best version of Spider-Man. This version is like a timid, like kind of not sure of himself kind of guy, and I don't really like that version of Spider-Man. I don't really like this punk ass version of him. I don't. I don't like. He's a punk, and I don't like that version. Spider-Man's not a punk. I mean, Peter Parker, I guess, is this nerdy guy, but when he puts on that Spider-Man suit, like he's not a punk. And but I don't know, man. Like I said, Tom Holland's probably a great guy. He's probably a great actor and other stuff, but I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of this version. I'm definitely gonna watch it because I'm still a Marvel head and fan of Spider-Man, but just gotta see. That one comes out a little later, I think in December, so gonna be looking forward to that. Yeah, it's been eerie, not just this week, but past like few weeks for me. Like, is it back to normal? Is it not? That's the name of this episode, by the way. Are things getting back to normal? And I don't know. Like, it's kind of hard to see. It's real eerie. But just keep an eye on things. Some things looking up. Yeah, unfortunate things that happen as well. But yeah, just gotta keep it moving. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. Yeah, I'm out.